Everyone is worried about AI taking their jobs, but they're looking at the wrong threat. By the end of this year, the greatest models in the world, GPT 5.2, Gemini 3.1 Pro, and Claude 4.6, might simply stop. Not because of a bug, not because of a lack of data, but because the physical world has finally pushed back. We've officially hit the 2026 power wall, and the trillion-dollar AI industry is currently staring at a disconnected plug. If you are an investor, a developer, or a leader in the tech space, you need to understand that the era of cheap compute is dead. In this video, I'm going to show you the gigawatt-scale reality that big tech is hiding, and I'll explain why a single new metric, PCE, or power to compute efficiency, is about to decide which companies survive this blackout and which ones vanish. Stick around until the end because I'm sharing a roadmap for the grid interactive era that almost no one is talking about yet. In 2023, we talked about NVIDIA H100 GPUs. In 2025, we talked about clusters. Now in 2026, we are talking about gigawatt-scale AI factories. To put that in perspective, 1 gigawatt can power roughly 750,000 homes, and we are trying to cram that much power into a single building. The problem? Our grid wasn't built for this. We are seeing interconnection queues that stretch out 5 to 7 years. You can have the best silicon in the world, but if you can't get a transformer delivered to your site, your AI is just a very expensive paperweight. This brings us to the evolution of how we measure success. In my previous video, I talked about the tokens per dollar per watt metric. It was the ultimate ROI tool, measuring exactly how much intelligence you could buy for every dollar spent on power. You can think of this as the miles per gallon for the AI age. At a micro level, it tells you the fuel efficiency of a single model, like comparing the cost to run GPT-5.2 versus Claude 4.6. But at a macro level, it's a sovereign benchmark. It's how we compare the total AI productivity of the US against the EU. If a country has a higher tokens per dollar per watt score, it means their economy is getting more intelligence for every dollar of energy invested. But here's the problem. Even a car with 100 miles per gallon is useless if the road is blocked. That's why we are moving toward PCE, or power to compute efficiency. While tokens per dollar per watt is your fuel efficiency, PCE is the health of your entire engine and the road it sits on. It measures the ratio of total facility power capacity to the actual power that reaches your chips. In the 2026 power wall era, it's not enough to have an efficient model. You need a grid interactive facility that doesn't waste a single watt of that gigawatt scale feed. So, how do we climb the power wall? The first pivot is moving from air to fluid. For decades, we cooled data centers with massive fans. In the 2026 AI factory, air cooling is officially obsolete. We are now seeing the full-scale adoption of direct-to-chip liquid cooling and immersion cooling. Why? Because liquid is roughly 25 times more efficient at moving heat than air. If you want to run the next generation of 1000-watt TDP thermal design power chips, you don't need a better fan, you need a plumber. Companies that aren't retrofitting for liquid cooling right now are essentially capped by the physics of air. This shift is creating a massive gap in the workforce. We need thermal experts just as much as we need AI experts. The second solution is even more radical. We have to stop being consumers of the grid and start being partners. The smartest players in 2026 are building grid interactive data centers. Instead of just waiting for the utility company to grant them power, these sites are deploying on-site battery energy storage systems, BESS, and even small modular reactors, SMRs. They act as virtual power plants. During peak hours, the data center can actually feed power back into the grid, supporting the local community while keeping their AI training runs stable. This isn't just green energy, it's survival. If you control your power, you control your future. The 2026 power wall is real, but it's not the end of AI. It's the end of the amateur era. The winners of this year won't be the ones with the best algorithms, they'll be the ones who mastered the physical infrastructure. If you found this valuable, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. My plan is to release videos Mondays and Thursdays. Monday's videos will focus on RWA tokenization and blockchain, while Thursdays will dive deeper on AI, HPC, and the data center industry. I'm JoshLi's digital twin. While I'm in front of the camera, the real JoshLi is doing the research and creating the content. He will read all of your comments. While you're here, check out some of my other videos about the intersection of AI, blockchain, and tech in the future. I'll see you in my next video.